Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Harebrained Games. It's that time of year, ho 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 and all that jazz. Taking a couple weeks off. Yeah, lots of reasons. Everything, you know how the holidays go. But it's time to do my yearly Christmas shoutouts. I did this last year, I'm going to do it this year. This is where I give thanks and kudos to some of the people online in the board game industry who I thought really were valuable to me and valuable to the community in general this year. So without further ado, let's get into it. No list would ever be complete without no enemies here. Dan continues week in and week out to do something I do not, which is consistently provide information about the news, who's doing what articles, what videos have come up. Dan is all in. He's bought in, and he's had his own set of craziness this year. So thank you, Dan, from No Enemies Here, for continuing year in and year out to be the ambassador of the industry that and the zany guy that you are. And next we have a blast from the past. This year we had a small sighting, like a groundhog sighting, of Castelli Reviews, my friend who did the channel Castelli Reviews. He's been around for many, like decades, literally. But he's also a very, very busy, hardworking guy, and we don't see much of him. This year we got a small amount of time, just a short phase, when I got to see him do some reviews again. He always has a crazy, zany, down under kind of vibe of things about the industry and whatever. So, like I told him, you know what? As much or as little of Castelli as we can have, we'll have Castelli. And so thank you again. He was the inspiration for this channel many years ago with his authentic, honest, just take on games that I really enjoyed and appreciated, and have in a very crude way tried to emulate. So good on that. Next we have another friend from the Down Under region, but not Australia, a New Zealand friend that I picked up this year as a fellow co-worker and compatriot who was invaluable to me when we were playing Great Western Trail New Zealand, because he was able to pick up some of the imagery and even kind of show me in real time some of that imagery, the birds and stuff like that. And then also some of the places in the game that were like, yeah, that's just phoned in. Well, not phoned in, but well, maybe, but not really indicative of the New Zealand experience. So either way, I had a great time getting to know my friend Thor Zealand, and so thank you for that this year. Another friend, much closer, across the little ponds, not the big ponds, is my friend from Whidbey Island, Liverpool man. I am what a brother in the faith you have been to me this year, and what fun we've had, even though we never did cross paths this year. There's always next year in Jerusalem, etc. Not really in Jerusalem, but it's been great. It really has. Like it's an interesting thing to kind of meet some people and get to know them, and our quirky, funny senses of humor that do combine. So thank you to that, my friend. In other news, I want to thank, about halfway through the year, I got contacted by Graham's dad, which is a fellow that he saw earlier in the year, in January. I decided to put my money where my mouth is and make a board game manual, a companion guide for a game that I thought had a really lacking manual. And it was a great exercise, both in humility for me, but also in understanding that yes, we can always do better. Rule books can be better, and they are a first-class obligation. And so it was good in that it helped. And I still feel bad. I haven't gotten back to it yet. There's still a couple revisions I need to make, blah, blah, blah. Add it to the to-do list. But he contacted me because he was so enamored with the game as well that he wanted to do a video and was wondering if he could pair that with the companion guide. I'm like, yes, anything that adds value to people wanting to play board games is cool with me, absolutely. And I got to know him. What a wonderful guy, just a great guy. Just same kind of thing, has a channel. If you haven't checked it out, I think it's one of the only playthrough videos for that game out there. But man, it was great to meet you. God bless you and God bless your family. On to that, we have a new channel that popped up about 6 months ago that cracks me up, called Jumble and Gaff. It's just a couple guys that are having a good time. I think they've done miniatures, they've done other stuff, but they've gotten more into sort of board gaming. And whereas I'm like authentic and low budget and low overhead when it comes to videos, these guys have really put a lot of effort into each and every review they do. And again, I think that they're not acerbic, they're not sarcastic per se, but they do take the wryer sense of life and apply it to their board game reviews in a way that I've just found just it has just cracked me up. They've only got like a couple hundred subscribers, which is crazy to me given how fun their videos are. So if you get a chance, check out Jumble and Gaff. Next we have a friend up north. Again, it's across the pond. Nope, not really, just across the freeway. Meandering Mike, who I got connected with for his channel a bit ago, and so it's been good to kind of see him and check his stuff out each week. He's again much more deliberate and organized than I am, and can do stuff every week, more on the wargaming side. But it's been great. You had some. I'm glad that the flooding up there didn't affect you, though. If you said it did affect some of the people around you, so I think the floods have subsided since November, and we're all better off. So thank you for that. Then we have Bray Lynn's Battle. Now that is one backstory. Not this year, but in the middle of last year, a lovely family started doing video games. Same thing, like we're having fun, we're doing this for fun, and stuff. And then they just abruptly stopped, not longer than a few months into it, and that doesn't. I mean, that's not that uncharacteristic. A lot of people try it out. They can't make money, whatever. These, I could tell, were doing it for fun, and so it was odd to see them drop off. Well, they dropped off because one of their daughters, I think their oldest daughter, got extremely ill, and I don't mean like the flu. I mean debilitatingly ill. And so everything had to stop, and I found out through different channels, and I don't know them personally, but I just know from adding, like I go to their portal for Caring Bridge or whatever and go see. But these people have been through the ringer, and they have their faith and tenacity and grit and determination has been just amazing. I don't know that I would have handled it well if my daughter started having like blindness, inability to talk, inability to hear, inability to even to have anything but pain, just the constant perpetual pain, and doctors, specialists everywhere in the hospital so long, this whole year, and dealing with that, and having them still come out and be like, hey, pray for us, we're wearing down here, but something's going to happen, it's going to get better. They want to get her where she can walk again, where she can see again, where she can talk again, and have good hearing again. This is something that's been on my mind all the way through the year, and so we take gaming for granted as a luxury, and for some people it's more than a luxury. It was a luxury they no longer have because of just the incredible weight of life going down. So if you get a chance, keep Braylon in your prayers. But they've been someone that's had a great impact to me, and I hope someday, years from now, that they can be all well as a family, and I will see their channel come back, and they'll be doing games again, and that will mean everything is fine. And finally, the most important shout out goes to you guys, all of you, everyone here. I do this because it's fun. I don't want a dime. I won't take a dime. I've literally shuttled. Some people have tried to send me review stuff, and I shuttle it on to someone else because I am here to authentically have fun talking about board games. And on the internet, that's not always easy to do. You get the acerbic, you get the snotty, you get the worst of human behavior a lot of times. And yet on this channel, I can tell you that is so rare. And instead what I have are just fine, upstanding, communicative, talkative conversationalists who want to just talk to me and say, hey, I didn't like that game as much as you did, but hey, check this out. The conversations that I get in the comments, and I try really hard to answer every one. I know I've got a couple left to get to. That matters, and so you guys and you folks are the reason I keep doing it. You've got the Rock Hopper, the Banking on Money. We got the folks from Europe, the folks from New Zealand, the folks from the Philippines. People Power. We've got a couple from the East Coast and the Midwest. It is so cool to be able to do these videos, and for your patience when I don't always get a video out very regularly, or when I put 2 or 3 out and stuff. Just in the fact that these are low budget. This is about talking. This is about conversation with you, and videos that I do in a way to justify what you see here in this cornucopia of overkill. And so God bless, Merry Christmas to all of you, and to all a good night. Take care, and we'll see you next time on Harebrained Games.